evening at the Blues Beauty Lounge in Zapopan began as it always did. Quiet, routine. Its owner, 23-year-old Valeria Márquez, a popular blogger and entrepreneur, was live streaming, discussing new beauty trends and chatting with followers. Then, without warning, the familiar mood shifted. Shadows flickered behind her on camera, and the air turned tense. That brief moment, captured live, became the first clue in a story of unanswered questions and mystery. Valeria Márquez was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, the city where her story begins. From childhood, she was drawn to beauty and fashion, studying runway icons and experimenting with makeup whenever she could. That curiosity grew into a drive to create, shaping her identity and quietly charting her future. By 2021, her efforts were paying off. Success was no longer distant, but visible.
She earned the Miss Rostro title, boosting her confidence and putting a spotlight on her work.
That win opened doors and helped her cultivate a growing audience invested in her professional journey. Ambitious and determined, Valeria didn't want to just work in beauty. She wanted to build something of her own. That's how her beauty salon was born. Not only a place for services, but a space where her ideas came to life. It fused her love of makeup and self-care with a mission to help others feel confident and beautiful. For Valeria, the salon was more than a job. It was her stage. She lived on social media, sharing quick tips, routines, and candid moments. Short clips highlighted new makeup and hair care launches, plus slices of everyday life. Her following surged, edging toward 200,000. She spoke plainly about wins and mistakes, an honesty that made her feel real. Audiences saw not just a pro, but a young woman turning passion into a living. She broke down what to buy, what to skip, and how to get results at home. By 23, she was a familiar name in beauty, confident, persistent, aspirational. Behind it all was routine, steady work, patience, and a drive to level up. Most days began at the salon. Clients, filming, replies, an ordinary rhythm for now. On May 13th, 2025, the salon opened like any other day. Clients filed in, the team settled into their routine. No one sensed how quickly the day would turn. By afternoon, 2 men rolled up on a motorcycle. One was masked, a package in hand. They called themselves couriers, said a gift was for Valeria. Staff offered to take it, but the men insisted, only to her in person. That insistence set everyone on edge. Told she hadn't arrived, they left. No names, no package. Gone fast. When Valeria arrived and heard about the strange visit, a knot of worry formed. Why would unknown people try to deliver a gift while hiding their faces? The question wouldn't leave her. Her reaction betrayed real concern. She searched for a harmless explanation, telling herself it was probably a bizarre mistake. Even so, she kept her composure in front of clients. She buried herself in work and decided a new live stream might steady her nerves. She opened TikTok and began talking to her followers about new products and the salon's plans. On camera, she seemed calm and cheerful, showing new items, sharing tips, chatting with viewers. Comments poured in, support, likes, questions, from people in different cities. Valeria smiled and answered as usual, even though thoughts of the earlier visit still lingered in her mind. As evening approached, the first part of that difficult day was coming to an end. From the outside, everything looked normal: work, live streaming, clients. But beneath the surface, her unease kept growing, carefully hidden from everyone. On the evening of May 13th, around 6:30 p.m., 2 men returned to the salon. Inside, Valeria was live, chatting with followers about hair color ideas and care products. Her tone was steady, smiling, responding to questions without hurry. Near the entrance, the pair lingered. Staff and clients didn't take notice. One stayed with the motorcycle. The other scanned the street, as if awaiting a cue. Valeria kept the stream going as the viewer count climbed. Her phone sat on a tripod, recording the room. Then, the door opened quickly, and one man stepped inside. His face was masked. He moved straight toward Valeria. She glanced at the phone, then looked up. He was right in front of her.
Are you Valeria?
Those became the final words heard on the stream. Investigators say the next moments marked the start of the attack. The man produced a firearm and fired. 2 reports sounded, one after another. In the tight space, the noise was overwhelming. Then, stillness. Valeria did not move again. She lost consciousness immediately. The staff saw everything. For a few seconds, everyone froze, unsure what to do. Erica stepped to the phone. The stream was still live, and switched it off. Her measured, almost blank reaction would later raise questions. In that moment, everyone was in shock. Clients waiting for their appointments screamed. Some covered their faces, others recoiled, stepping back. The employees were disoriented, uncertain about the next step. One knelt to check Valeria's breathing. It was immediately clear she was gone. Silence settled over the room, broken only by muffled sobs and hurried footsteps. Minutes later, one worker called an ambulance, another dialed the police. Those calls became the first official reports. But by then, it was too late to save Valeria. She lay motionless, surrounded by people still unable to grasp what had just happened. Viewers watching the live stream saw the attack unfold in real time. Chats flooded with shock and support as people tried to grasp what had happened. Some assumed it was a stunt, until it became unmistakably real. Clips and screenshots spread within minutes across feeds and news pages, fueling fast-moving speculation. The gunman vanished as quickly as he entered. He took nothing, no money, no belongings. His purpose was singular: kill, then leave. Investigators later said he left no usable fingerprints or physical evidence. It all happened in seconds. Those seconds changed everything, for the salon, and for the hundreds watching live. Moments before, beauty tips. Moments after, a killing witnessed live online. As clips from the stream began circulating, paramedics reached the salon. Called within minutes of the attack, they could only confirm Valeria's death. She had died of gunshot wounds to the chest and head. News of the killing spread rapidly across local and national outlets. Police followed protocol: secure the site, interview witnesses, pull security footage, document the scene. They cordoned off the area. Only investigators were allowed inside. Crowds formed outside, straining for answers and any official word. Each new detail flashed online within minutes, pulling in even more attention. Valeria's family was quietly notified. According to official reports, officers delivered the news in person. Her mother was among the first to reach the salon. Investigators met her at the entrance and explained what had occurred. She saw her daughter's workplace sealed off, officers inside, with Valeria still inside under the care of authorities. Witnesses said she broke down when the reality set in. Moments usually kept private became part of a shared memory. Social media filled with messages of sympathy and grief. Support poured in, though none could change what had happened. Soon, Valeria was taken to the Institute of Forensic Medicine for examination. Standard in a homicide inquiry. Online, speculation multiplied, but for her family, it meant little beside their loss. They had lost a daughter who, just a day before, had greeted the world with a smile. Investigators immediately noted there were no signs of robbery. That pointed to a targeted attack rather than theft. The assailants neither searched the premises nor took valuables. Their actions were precise: find Valeria, shoot, and leave within seconds. This efficiency, the mask, the firearm, the quick escape, led investigators to consider a contract-style killing. Security footage shows the men arriving and fleeing rapidly, leaving almost no time to react. As those clips spread, online rumors about motive multiplied. Some journalists and users speculated about links to the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, or CJNG, claims that remain unverified. Other unverified reports alleged a past romantic tie to Ricardo Ruiz Velasco. Outlets differed and offered no proof. Posts noted Valeria showcased costly gifts. Commentators theorized jealousy or anger, again unsubstantiated. Her visible luxury online was framed by rumor as provocative to criminals, yet no evidence supports that interpretation. This narrative proposed a message killing. It remains a hypothesis, not an established fact. Another theory claimed she resisted demands from people tied to organized crime, also unproven. Despite the chatter, authorities reported no concrete link between Valeria and any criminal group. Coverage amplified speculation, often blending conjecture with fragments of fact. Viewers were urged to treat it cautiously. Officials reiterated there is no verified evidence connecting Valeria to the CJNG or similar groups. Investigators continue to test all leads. The working focus remains a professional targeted assassination. The killing drew an immediate public response from federal and state officials. President Claudia Sheinbaum offered condolences to Valeria's family and vowed the crime would not go unpunished. She stated that every person responsible would be identified and brought to justice. She emphasized that violence against women cannot go unanswered, pledging all available measures to establish the truth. Jalisco authorities confirmed the case is being investigated under femicide protocols, with special focus on motive, context, and circumstances. Investigators gathered witness statements and video and continued to test all lines of inquiry, from personal conflict to a contract killing. After the president's remarks, demands for a thorough, transparent inquiry only grew. Each day raised sharper questions from the public. How did two strangers enter so easily and vanish without a trace? Who sent them, and why was Valeria targeted? Investigators worked methodically, but the audience wanted answers now. Attention soon turned to her friend Vivian. Hours before the attack, Vivian had sent Valeria a plush piglet and kept messaging, urging her to stay at the salon, hinting another surprise was coming. As the day unfolded, those persistent messages, still arriving when the men returned, struck many as troubling. Some viewers read intent into timing. Others saw coincidence amplified by fear. None of it was verified. The gift, the reminders to remain on site, and the promise of a second surprise became focal points of online speculation, threads people pulled at while official facts were still limited. The questions multiplied faster than confirmations, and certainty remained elusive. Social media quickly spun theories that Vivian might have suspected more than a harmless gift. But scrutiny widened to the salon employee Erica. After the shots, she reached Valeria's phone and shut off the livestream, calmly, it seemed, as comments still scrolled. That composure, caught on camera, drew intense debate. Some argued her reaction suggested foreknowledge. Others noted that shock can present as quiet, focused action. Turning off a stream in the immediate aftermath could also be seen as protecting dignity. Importantly, viewers were interpreting fragments, not full context. There was no proof of intent, plan, or complicity, only a few recorded moments, replayed and reframed. Even so, perception hardened online, and Erica's actions, ordinary or ominous, depending on the lens, became central to the chorus of suspicion. Doubts intensified when alleged screenshots of chats between Vivian and Erica surfaced. According to posts sharing them, Vivian told Erica to switch off Valeria's phone at a specific moment. Another message purportedly advised Erica to avoid standing near Valeria until the stream should be stopped. Supposed replies showed concern, then agreement. But none of these images were authenticated. The files spread across groups and reels, easy to crop, edit, or misattribute. Without original devices, metadata, or forensic review, their status remained unknown. Authorities did not confirm them. Reputable outlets cautioned readers. Still, the narratives embedded in the screenshots, true, altered, or fabricated, propelled Vivian and Erica into the spotlight, where virality often outpaces verification. Then came a more spectral rumor, that in the live stream's aftermath, a faint voice said, "Vivian." Clips labeled as a ghostly echo ricocheted across feeds. Audio analysts outside the case suggested artifacts, bleed, or pareidolia, our tendency to find patterns, even in noise. Others insisted it was a final name. Police did not endorse either claim, and no official report confirmed the audio as genuine or intelligible. In the absence of verified source files and controlled analysis, the sound remained ambiguous. For grieving loved ones, such speculation cut deeply. For investigators, it was another viral tangent without evidentiary footing. Gifts, messages, screenshots, and whispers, each detail fueled suspicion while facts lagged behind. Yet no charges were filed against anyone in Valeria's circle, and officials stressed the difference between online conversation and admissible evidence. Investigators continued to gather statements, examine video, and test leads. Meanwhile, the presumption of innocence applied to all involved. Until verifiable findings emerge, these theories remain speculative. What endures beyond rumours is the loss of a young woman and a family awaiting clarity, and justice grounded in proof, not conjecture. In parallel with the main theory, investigators reviewed leads tied to Valeria's personal life. One line focused on messages allegedly sent by an ex-boyfriend, harsh words, veiled threats, and boasts about what he was capable of. Online, those screenshots fueled talk of a personal revenge motive. Prosecutors, however, clarified that he is not a suspect in the open case, and that the file contains no evidence directly linking him to the crime. Still, the images circulated widely, keeping his name in the conversation despite the lack of verified proof. As the posts multiplied, comments blurred opinion and fact. Viewers passed timestamps, compared phrasing, and built narratives around fragments. Investigators noted the chatter, but reiterated that leads must be tested against evidence, not virality. In the end, this avenue remained a possibility on paper, and only that, pending corroboration that had not surfaced by the time of this report. Soon, louder speculation turned to money and image. Photos of private flights and expensive hotels were cast as proof of hidden ties. To some, the lifestyle seemed inconsistent with a small business owner. To others, it was simply content curated for social media. The prosecutor's office issued a statement. None of these claims had been confirmed, and no link to any criminal organization had been established. Other theories emerged. Accidental conflicts of interest, unnamed enemies, shadowy benefactors. Each lacked substantiation. Headlines amplified half-facts. Thumbnails promised answers they didn't contain. As clicks accumulated, contradictions did too, and speculation began to masquerade as evidence in the public eye. Amid the noise, a simpler truth risks being lost. Valeria was a young woman building a career and a community. Accusations without verification remain accusations. Her family chose patience over rumor, hoping the investigation, not the feed, will determine what is true and what is merely a story told with certainty but without proof. Valeria's friends, including Vivian and Erica, stayed under a steady glare of attention. Their posts, movements, and silences were passed by strangers, yet no authority announced charges against either of them. Vivian repeated that she had no involvement. Erica, who turned off the live stream after the shots, chose not to speak publicly. Investigators kept working several lines in parallel, and according to officials, still lacked direct evidence implicating anyone in Valeria's circle. Online, impatience grew. Threads multiplied, theories collided, and grief mixed with anger at the lack of answers. Through it all, the case remained formally open, the facts under review, and the questions unresolved. For Valeria's family and friends, one reality eclipsed the noise. She was gone, and the person responsible had not yet been identified.
According to the latest reports, new details have emerged, but they remain unverified. A woman identifying herself as Paula, claiming to be a witness and saying she fears for her safety, alleges that the shooter was not the courier, but Erica, the salon's cosmetologist. Until May 26th, most leads and commentary pointed to the courier who asked Valeria to confirm her identity. Paula's account challenges that narrative. She says she was reading the salon service list in the window when a courier approached, asked if Valeria was the person he was looking for, and began taking something from his backpack. At that moment, she alleges, Erica, inside the premises, produced a gun and opened fire. These are Paula's claims and have not been corroborated by authorities.
Official police information maintains that 2 men arrived on a motorcycle and that one of them carried out the murder.
Erica's lawyer has insisted in recent interviews on her complete innocence. He states Erica had nothing to do with the crime and was only at the salon in the course of her work. He adds that she ended the livestream out of respect for Valeria, so her final image wouldn't be tied to the moment of the tragedy. According to him, Erica has cooperated with police and denies giving any verbal statements identifying a supposed perpetrator. These are defense statements, and the allegations remain unproven.
The state's governor announced that CCTV recordings have been reviewed and that police possess data on how and where the attackers fled. Officials noted that 3 lines of inquiry are active and none points to Erica's involvement with criminal groups. Paula's allegations are being assessed, but remain unverified. The circumstances of the crime are still under examination, and the question of who shot Valeria Márquez has no final answer. Thank you for watching. Stay aware.